called independent charters. They operate right now only in Milwaukee and Racine. I believe there's 32 of them. And they are funded straight off the top of your public school district. I just looked it up. River Falls every year loses $220,000 to independent charter schools that operate only in Milwaukee and Racine. Those students receive $8,000 per child from the state, and they do not have local authority. They do not have a local board, a local school board. They don't have to take all children in the same way that public schools do. That already siphons off $220,000 from your local school district to fund students elsewhere. If we have a statewide charter authorizing board, what that would do is any school that applied to be a part of that could potentially opt in. So it may be a school within your district. It may be a new school. It could be something like Rocket Ship or K-12, and those are commercialized charter schools. They're sort of the Walmart of education, and they're all throughout the nation. They could come to a community. They'll probably come to the bigger communities where there's more students that they can pull in, and then they would get that funding, which indirectly, remember it's kind of complicated, but indirectly siphons off of your local property taxes. And it doesn't need to be in your district to take away from your property taxes. The fact that if this authority goes through, it doesn't need to be a school that's authorized near you. The funding will still come from your district, just like it does now.
Well, one of the things to keep in mind here is that we have lots of charter schools in this state right now that school boards set up and that they maintain oversight over and do an excellent job. One of the things that's always puzzled me is, why do we need this? Why do we need to strip away the authority of elected local community officials who are doing a good job, where there doesn't seem to be a hue and cry other than for a few activists that are well-heeled, and why do we need to erode more local control? If you ask most people about what government is the best, they'd say the one that's closest to the people. That's why, as raucous as sometimes school board elections are, for the most part, communities pull together behind their local school board because they feel like they're heard. They have a say. That goes to Madison. I think they'll being heard not so much.
We know that there's a lot of people who retired early because of that too. There's a lot of people my age and my level who are leaving the profession, and I've heard estimates that there are up to only half the people entering schools of education in our colleges. So maybe it hasn't really hit us yet, but it's coming. One big reason that I'm substitute teaching right now is because they had no one apply. And when I didn't get reelected, they said, "Hey Mandy, we've got 3 classes of juniors. They're really nice. They have to take the ACT in 2 months. Please, 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 please." Because they were going to have 3 different teachers teaching during their lunches, and then the principal coming in for 15 minutes each class because they couldn't even cover the entire, it was terrible, right? I mean, it was just really a terrible situation. And so, I'm available, but I'm not always going to be available, and there's not always going to be extra teachers around as we continue down this path. It's going to be a crisis. In my opinion, we've got 2-3 years yet, and then we're going to see a really serious teacher crisis.